Welcome to the Nerds and Friends podcast. We are back after a rather long hiatus to interview actor Daniel Selk.
Dimitri, wake up. Huh? What's the matter, James? Don't have a glibber mark for me.
You're not looking too good, mate. Where is he?
Where are we going?
I'm gonna get you home, okay?
The only good shirt.
It's gonna be alright, man.
You think so?
Yeah, man. Of course. We got your back.
Daniel, how's it going today?
It's going great. How about you?
Doing good.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Well, it's fun to talk to you because Carrie helped us make the scroll of Resurrection Scroll, which is currently out now on YouTube. We'll have a link in the description of the video below. Go check out the Resurrection Scroll on our distributors page, Tiny Scripted LLC, their YouTube channel. Just type in Tiny Scripted. But yeah, and then probably either when this releases or shortly after, The Unseen, which is available on YouTube on the Kick-Ass Film Festival page, the extended cut will also be available on that same channel, which Daniel also stars in. So.
Dave.
What?
Very exciting.
All right.
Well, Daniel,
So
I
excited
guess,
for it.
yeah, starting out, tell us about like your journey to being an actor, what you're working on now. Let's just kind of dive in there.
Absolutely. Like there are two parts to my acting career where I started acting when I was a kid. I was 7 years old. My the church that I went to did church plays, and my mom kind of forced me into that. And at first, I was terrified because I had a whole paragraph I had to say 3 times in front of an audience.
Wow.
And I did it. And then a few years later, I actually got a small role in another play, and I actually enjoyed it. And for a few years after that, I did like at least 3 plays per year.
Oh, wow.
And that was really, really fun to do. And then about 15, I believe, I helped a student, my sister's best friend, to do a short film. It was a Lord of the Rings spoof, and I got to play the role of Boromir in the
hell yeah.
It was the Council of Elrond scene, and they made it as a spoof, so it was hilarious. I wish I had that, but
That's
it's
awesome.
long gone somewhere in my past. But that was my first time being on a film set, and I loved that even more than plays and stuff. And I did a big play, The Music Man, when I was 19, and from there to about 31 there's kind of like dead silence. I did make my own feature film. It was an experiment. It's called Seized. And it was potential, but I wasn't sure about whether I wanted to go that direction in my life, if I needed to go another direction, and life kind of just didn't take me anywhere else. So in 2018, I got a small role in a short film, and then extra in a feature, then a small commercial, and then a voiceover. It's like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And at the end of 2019, I got those things. And then beginning of 2020, I got a major role in a short film called The Art of Conversation, and that was filmed in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Oh, wow.
And I had a huge blast with that, and I felt, okay, this is definitely
I'm just waving to Carrie's kitty while you talk.
Hi,
Kitty.
Hi,
Kitty back there. Say hi, Tangle. Oh, there she is.
Oh, hi.
Nice. And then a week after that shoot in Cheyenne, the pandemic hit.
Oh yeah.
And I thought I was done for, but I actually ended up making that a good thing because there were a couple months in there when everything was shut down. I just
Oh, okay.
researched acting, the filmmaking business, everything I could get my hands on, especially YouTube channel like Wendy Elaine Wright, Tony Robinette, and a lot of different people. And so I got a lot of knowledge, and no one was going out there to act. And there's your cat right there
Yeah. There's
behind you.
Cassian. Cassian, say hi. Oh,
Hi,
he's saying
Hey, buddy.
hi. Oh,
Cassian! And during that time, I got four more shoots in 2020, including my feature film debut.
and was that during the pandemic?
That was during the pandemic. We took all
Hmm.
sorts of precautions.
Yeah.
A
I was
couple of the
curious because
films never,
I worked on a couple sets in LA during the pandemic, and I'm curious, like, what the lockdown was like here in Colorado.
yes, there was like pretty much nothing, but then whatever was out there, no one was going out. They were just too,
Right.
taking their precautions, and I totally agree with what they did.
Yep.
But I took my precautions too, and I still got to go out there. And Who Needs You was
Okay.
filmed in 2020, and that released in 2022 on Amazon Prime.
Nice.
Um,
Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a small part, but I had a really fun time doing the 2 days of shooting. And what's funny is what got me the role was just my shocked face. I did the audition, I sent it as a self-tape, and my
You
shocked face
you
just,
handle like very intense emotions really well as an actor,
oh, thank
and
you.
so I'm excited for our upcoming feature film Envoy.
Yes.
It's like the first role I've directed for you where, other than the music video we did together, where you're not screaming and your life's not in danger. You're just
Yes,
a
yes,
chill
it's gonna be a
therapist.
calm role conversation.
Yes.
It's gonna be good. And
I'm
knowing
Yeah,
stoked.
that,
no,
like,
no emoting needed in a conversation, right? You can just
yes,
coast.
yes. But it wasn't always like that because in 2020, almost every single role I did, I was kind of the same. So it wasn't
Okay.
until 2022 when I met, well, I had met Domingo Maines in
Yeah.
2020, but we did a film called Killing You. And I started out as that character, the timid, shy person, but then near the end, I'm the one that wins in the end
Okay.
and become a shell of a man. And I had a lot of emotion in there. And that was something that really kind of, when I gave out to people, they're like, oh, wow, Daniel, you can act
Hmm.
Nice.
with all these different layers. And so from there, that really got me different roles where like I could not only be calm, but also be emotional, start screaming, which I can do, and
Yes.
all sorts of
What were we
stuff.
saying at the last peak film forum that like you have the Wilhelm scream of Colorado at this point? The
Yes.
Daniel scream?
Ah!
That's
Right.
pretty great.
I mean, I don't know how many films I have done where I scream either in anger or fear or depression or what, but yeah, it
I
just
think I
became a
think my favorite
thing.
is Resurrection Scroll, where the cops got called on you because they thought you were getting murdered in a basement. That was pretty fun.
Yes, like there we are in the basement, and I didn't believe you guys when you said that the police got called, but they did, and I'm
They
just like,
did.
"Mm,
That's just some
sorry."
good acting right there then.
Yep.
You should have seen me when I first found out. Just cried uncontrollably every day, every time I thought about him.
I'm so glad to have known him. Have you tried talking to anyone?
No? Is that what's helping you?
No.
I mean, we're in a basement, and it's in Falcon, so the houses are further spread out, and so I couldn't imagine anyone hearing us, and yeah, it happened.
I will say that's a
And
good thing though, because it meant the neighbors cared. I did a movie with Rob Bowen last weekend, and we had a couple actors screaming at full volume in a garage
oh,
in a very tightly packed housing area. No cops got called because like I was sitting there, I was first AD, and I was like, should I call the non-emergency line? And the person who had the house, they're like, I think it's fine, and I was like, that's disturbing that it's fine, but okay, cool.
that's really funny.
Yeah.
I'm
So
sure
Just depends on
everything
where you
is
are.
okay. I'm sure
it
everything
was
is
it was a
okay.
nice housing complex. I was like, I'm really bothered that they're not, we have these two actresses just screaming at full volume as they're getting
Oh
murdered on camera.
man.
And I was like, oh,
Wow.
and no one cared. Okay, on a Tuesday night. Cool. Okay, great.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun. Like, and Resurrection Scroll is one of my favorite short films that I have done because, even though I'm in two scenes, it let me have all these layers to a character where like I'm kind of sympathetic, but then I'm not. And no spoilers or anything like that because we want people to watch it.
Yes.
But that ending scene was just like really, really awesome to do.
Yeah.
And I'd do it again in a heartbeat over and over and over. But we did the unseen prior to that
Yeah.
also, which our
And that
first
was one
scene,
where like going in, we didn't know what kind of characters we were getting because it's a 72-hour contest, so we don't know
right,
all the
right.
variables
Well,
we
and
get.
correct me if I'm wrong, but on the 72-hour contest, you get like your parameters, like the things that need to be in the film, and also the one that I went to, like you also got your genre, like at
Yeah,
the
so
time.
the way we do it is that like they like going in, if you're part of a good team, which thankfully I've been the last 2 years I've done it, because I know we'll promote your team, and then we were on different teams this year, but yeah, I think that's going to be or March 30th and 31st is the screenings up in Colorado Springs, so we'll have a link
Oh,
to that
cool.
as well on the video, but yeah, like so I try to always, as the writer going in, know the locations we have available and the actors and ideally what kind of roles they want for their demo reel. So I have kind of rough ideas, but then any rough story ideas I have based on locations and cast always fall apart because when we're going in, we get a randomly assigned genre and then we have, that's per team is the genres, but then everyone gets a certain type of character they have to include in their story, a line of dialogue, as well as a certain prop. So, like for the unseen, it was everyone had to have a mirror, and most teams had, a shot of their character looking at a mirror for a second to qualify. Whereas ours, we built the entire plot around the mirrors, which is why we won the award for. Actually, I have it right here.
Yes.
Uh,
Mhm. For the
which is
best
why we
prop.
won Best Prop Award right there.
Oh yeah.
Woohoo!
Yes. So, yeah, these things are hefty. I have to keep them on the ground so my cats don't knock them over because
Mm.
they're chunky awards. So
You got something in case an attacker ever comes into your room, just throw an award at them.
Chuck
yeah,
it.
audience choice best film. Blah. Well,
Yes.
Daniel, what genre did your team get this year for Kick-Ass?
So this year, we got Good versus Evil. I
Oh,
was
okay.
with Jonathan Truxa's group.
Also from
Um,
Resurrection Scroll.
yes, yes. He had done a short film in the UCCS, so I think was his first film outside of that. And
Okay.
I
Oh,
think he
cool.
In
did
terms of a director, right?
correct. Yes,
Yeah.
I think he did very well. And he had me and Kim Bennett and
Nice.
James Anthony Perez, and
You just
we
named
had a
two other
really
people who are going to be an Envoy.
oh
Ah,
yes,
yeah.
yes. Yeah, we had a really good group, I feel. And it's a really bizarre film, especially at the end. And that will come to light soon too when we have the showings and then
Yes.
the ceremony with the ceremonies on May 3rd. I
That's
think.
in
Yes, May
Pueblo,
3rd
right?
in
Yeah.
Pueblo.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm really excited about that and to see where Jonathan gets to go in his career as well.
Yeah.
And that's another amazing part that I love about filmmaking. I get to work with so many different directors and actors and filmmakers and make so many friends. And um, there's a lot of collaboration, especially with Peak Film Forum.
Yes.
I love Peak Film Forum doing that every second Wednesday. I've even brought one of my coworkers from the library that I work at to some of the Peak Film Forums, and she's really starting to make friends with some of the people too. So it's
That's
really
awesome.
awesome
That's so
to
cool.
get that. Yes, yes, she has a blast with that, and she loved Resurrection Scroll also. So
Good.
like, yeah,
I'm
huge,
glad.
huge thing.
Well, and this won't be done by the time this airs, but we also worked on a spec pilot called Repression, which you are in, and you'll be composing
Yes,
as well. We can announce that, I
yes.
suppose. So
Woo!
that's exciting. So Yeah,
Absolutely.
people stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe here and be ready for more announcements on that. But
I'm
I wanted to
excited to
ask you,
hear more
Daniel.
about that one,
Oh yeah,
personally. Yeah.
I mean, I can pitch it right now in case anyone is watching
Yes.
our podcast who is in a position. I mean, we're already in talks with a few, like early talks with play that goes somewhere, but I'll probably have to bleep that because I shouldn't announce that on the internet. But anyway, no, Repression's a really cool pilot that Jeffrey Bigger, an actor up in Fort Collins, approached me with the story, and it started out as actually a really minimalist one scene short film, and then we expanded it to a longer short film, and then it turned into a series. So Jeffrey came up with the story. I came on board and kind of helped develop it, adapt it from more of a theater style monologue into a more cinematic like series pacing. So
Hmm.
Jeffrey very kindly gave me co-creator credit. I feel like a co-writer, but it's a really powerful story, and basically the premise of it is that the main character is cleaning out his grandmother's house after she passes away, and he finds some old journals, and it unlocks a bunch of repressed traumatic memories of when he was younger. He's in his early 50s. He's out and like living a good life as an openly gay man, but in it unlocks a bunch of repressed memories of when he was younger, going through conversion therapy camp and stuff, and he always thought
Mm.
his grandma was supportive, but these journal entries say otherwise. So Daniel plays his boyfriend Michael, who's very supportive and helping him go to therapy. Unfortunately, the therapist he gets is played by me, and it is
Hmm.
a man who he had a relationship with at the conversion therapy camp, and he betrayed him, and he doesn't recognize him as the therapist. So the therapist, Dr. Foster, is pretty unethical starting out. So that's kind of the series goes from there and explores their relationship and healing from trauma. And me and Jeffrey talked about this a lot. Like it was really important for us to show how awful conversion therapy camp is and how like just the really fucked up shit that happens there and like how traumatic it
Hmm.
is. But we didn't want it to be like some LGBTQ media where it's just very focused on the suffering and the trauma. It does get to
Hmm.
a place of like catharsis and healing and showing how those things leave scars on your psyche, but you can also heal from them and help make the world a better place through combating stuff. So it ends on a pretty positive note, which we thought that was really important. So it's a
That
really
is
cool
very
series.
important. That's very
Yeah,
cool.
one of the
I
coolest
was
things I've gotten to work on. So yeah,
I was really glad to be a part of that. Like, I got you told me you wanted to be a part of it, and we had the table read for all the episodes, not just the pilot.
yeah,
And like I'm reading this and like this story really, really needs to be told and put out
agreed.
there. So I am after shooting the pilot, I am hoping for the future of it, knowing that
Yeah,
whether it's picked up or not, it's gonna happen. We're gonna do it.
yeah.
And I am like I was doing the pilot, and Jeffrey is just an amazing
Oh,
actor to work with.
the
Like,
scenes between the two of you,
whoa.
like when me and Lakeith are doing like the rough cut editing, we're just like, oh my God, these two can act. Like it's fucking
Yeah.
amazing to watch.
But
Yeah.
like just like he could cry on cue, like the same
Yeah.
tier, same side, every single
That's
same
skill.
moment and stuff.
Hmm.
Is just like that's something I wish I could have, but like that's part of the fun. You see all these actors and stuff, and you can learn from them and
Yeah.
pick up from their skills and everything. But Jeffrey is just an amazing actor to work with,
Yeah.
an amazing
And a
human
really
being.
talented writer. Yeah. And just the
Yes.
nicest man alive.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Like
But
this idea
yeah.
that he came from, that he got, like it,
And did
some
you
of
know
it
Repression's like the first thing he ever wrote? Like the initial thing that
really,
we developed? Yeah. He had just
whoa,
Huh.
done acting before. And yeah, like like Kim introduced me to him. I think it was early last year. So not that long ago, and we've just
nice,
been collaborating on it. We
nice.
we have a feature that he wrote that I'm planning to direct. I won't go into more specifics in case we're going to do a press announcement, but that's like a project probably for next year. We want you to be a part of that
Uh-huh.
too, of course. Yeah, so
Nice,
yeah, it's
nice.
That's
exciting.
so
So
cool.
yeah,
And speaking of Kim, she's also in Repression, and she's
yes,
a fabulous, fabulous actress.
yeah, she's really talented.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, no, I wanted to. We can talk about a more industry side thing of like me and Jeffrey's plan of action for distribution with Repression and like actually getting it developed. That could be fun for people watching. Or I wanted to ask you like, what's your method as an actor for doing really heavy emotional scenes? Because you mentioned Jeffrey can cry on cue. Like, what's your process for doing scenes like that?
So sometimes, you have to go there, if you know what I mean,
Right.
get those memories and stuff that make you sad. And to some people it's like, oh, like a death of a family or something that normally other people would cry if they thought about and stuff. And we all have our different things that make us do that. So I don't know, just like I'm not sure. Like I have a few things that I think about, and I think a lot of those things that actors bring those emotions out, they're personal.
Right.
So, it's a lot of those times they probably won't even say what that is, but it is along the lines of thinking of those sad things that you've dealt with in life. And like it's one thing to think about a sad thing, but it's another about something sad that you yourself went through.
Right.
And those emotions can still be raw and everything like that. But
Well,
for
I was gonna say,
me,
like, how do you then step out of that once the scene's done, or how do you compartmentalize to keep your mental health safe while
right,
going to those
right.
places and really feeling it on camera?
For me, it's very easy to get out of. Like, I
Right.
know that it's all fake
Okay.
and everything. So like once the scene is wrapped and stuff, it's just like, okay, we're good. Just take that
Nice.
deep breath and like mentally put myself present, make me
Nice.
present to where I am, the situation. I'm with friends. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's the way I go for that. I'm not
Nice.
method, so I know it's harder
Mhm.
for like more method actors to get out of. And there's some that, it is harder for them to get out there. But I think, when people say it's when people ask me, is it hard to get into your emotions? I think a lot of people are commonly thinking of sadness and crying when there's so many more,
Right.
like anger. I'm able to scream so much, and that's become a big part of my thing. So, like in the photographers or Resurrection Scroll or Unseen, I feel growing up, and a little, just a little opening up here. Growing up, I kind of repressed a lot of anger and emotions and stuff like that. And,
Yeah.
just my own reasons for doing that and everything. But, that bubbles up and you need a way to bring it out. So these
Yeah.
films have been a really great outlet for me to do
That's
that. Because,
awesome.
I tend to be like a kind, caring, loving person who a lot of people would think wouldn't hurt a fly type of thing. But, you know, in the Resurrection Scroll and Unseen, like, I just go into that with that
Yeah.
anger. And it's that repressed stuff that I'm allowed to
Because you can't do that at the
do.
library, I'm guessing.
No, absolutely not. Because I work at customer service. It's just like, oh my gosh, some of these
So you've got a
patrons.
lot built up then to get out if you work
Yes,
in customer service, I imagine.
yes.
Well,
Okay.
and
But
also
like,
I'd imagine like
but
the
this,
trust, the
yes,
being in a trusted space where you can just like, okay, this is not only expected, this is part of my job, and also like, here's a bunch of people I can actually like just let loose and scream around. Like,
exactly. Because there are a lot of people that cannot, not exactly cannot, they just won't go there because it's too much,
Right.
like or like too embarrassing, or like you said, trusting. They're not sure if they can trust that. But me, like, I've acted for so long that I feel confident in my skills that, hey, I was signed up for this and I'm going to go all out no matter what. And I do that whether it's a student film, a big film, a short film, what you name it. I'm there. And
That's
so
awesome.
if I have a part that's going to require me to go there, I'm going to find any way that I can to do that. So I'm
I
trying
feel
to
like some
remember,
of it
like,
does fall on the director and producers, though, to make sure the environment on set is safe and trusting, like Carrie said, so that you can really
I
be
agree.
vulnerable and give a good performance. I think
Yes,
that's hugely important.
yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And I think when I did the photographers in Salida in 2024,
Yep.
the part
Which
where like
available on Amazon now currently.
yes, yes, and it's a comedy,
Yes.
but I'm the bad guy in there, and all my plans fall apart, and then I just lose it in there. I
Yeah.
start screaming in anger, and that was on the first day of shooting, and I
Oh,
think like. And I'm just guessing here, but I felt like because I was able to go all out, that made everyone else comfortable to loosen up and
that's
do
awesome.
their roles and stuff like that. So I also
Yeah.
think it's important to, to show, hey, like it's okay to do
Yeah.
these things, to have
Mhm.
these emotions, to go out there and stuff. Because, if the script tells you to be extremely angry, like then I'm going to be extremely angry. You don't have to hold back. And you don't have to do it over the top either. You could actually legitimately feel that. And as Steve Austin says, we need to think and feel the emotions and stuff and get that out
Yeah.
there. And um,
Well, especially on camera, I mean, it picks up so much nuance in your face that like
yes,
you do
yes,
have to be thinking in character, which was the
yes,
hardest thing it took me to learn as an actor. And once I finally clicked on how to do that, I noticed my
uh-huh,
performance quality went up. So yeah.
I
yes.
wouldn't have expected Stone Cold to be such an acting aficionado. Like
It is
very
it is
that's
it is a different it is not Stone Cold Steve Austin. It is Colorado Springs based actor from Better Call Saul and Yellowstone Steve Austin.
Yes,
But
my
yes.
just kill my dreams, why don't you?
I
Just
know, I'm sorry.
He's a great acting coach. Like
that's
I
So you
so
can
love,
cool.
picture Stone Cold Steve Austin giving acting advice if that makes you happy, Gary. I think that's okay.
He does seem
yes.
like a nice person, so
He's great. He's great. He cares. He wants all of us to succeed. But going back to acting and reacting and stuff like that, it really helps also when other people are able to bounce that off with you. So I think
Yeah,
that's what made repression easier for me because with Jeffrey's strong acting and stuff, I'm able to have an equal
yeah,
reaction with him. Because if he wasn't having that kind of a strong reaction, my performance would probably be a little down too.
yeah,
Or I could try to put mine up so that he can get his too. But like, no, I had no problem doing that because he was doing
yeah.
that for me.
Yep. That's
So
awesome.
yes,
that's
yes.
very cool.
So yeah,
Yeah. Very cool. Well, what is one of the most technically challenging things you've had to do as an actor? Like not performance wise, but I mean like either physicality or blocking or something like that. What's been the most challenging thing you've had?
I think the most challenging part is that every single director is different
Okay.
on set. So you can't just go in the beginning, you can't go on set and think, okay, this is what every film is going to be like.
Right.
But that's also part of the fun too. You get to know, okay, how are they going to do this and stuff. At the
Yeah.
same time, it's a challenge because, we're all humans. We technically want to fall into this trap of, the film is going to go like this,
Right.
but I don't think I've ever seen a film ever fully follow a schedule to a T or
Yeah.
anything like that. There's a ton of
We almost did
flexibility.
on Resurrection Scroll.
Yes,
We only
yes.
went late on the last day.
But it's all worth it in the end. But I think a
Yeah.
lot of beginning actors don't realize that that's what the process is. Sometimes people be frustrated, but like they said 4 o'clock, and like you're new, aren't you? This
Right.
might be 7 or 8 or midnight.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that is one of the biggest challenges doing that, which also makes you wait a lot. There's a ton of waiting
Oh yeah.
in between takes and in
It
between
is as much hurry up and
scenes.
wait as the army, I
Yes,
feel.
yes. But I feel that a lot of experiences as a kid helped me with that early on, so that by 2018, when I'm starting up again, it wasn't a big deal. But it still is challenging to be there because you want to be on your game as an actor, but when you have hours of just in between time, you kind of I thought I'd lose it, but it's just like when they finally call you, you have to get that character back up into you,
Yeah.
stop being you, and then be that person. So I think that's probably the
Hmm.
biggest one. Just realizing, okay, the waiting in between and how does this director on this film do it versus this film?
Yeah.
So and knowing that you're not going to work with every single director over and over and over again too. Like I don't know how many directors I've
Well, I
worked
want
on
to
in the
work with you
last
over and
year.
over again, but
Me
let's take
too.
it for
Yes,
myself.
yes. Because how many have we done together? We've done three. I think I've done
we
three where you directed.
we met on Domino, the Seattle K
Yes,
music video. And I'd seen you on social media, so like I knew of you, and that was
yes,
our first time we worked together. And then the Unseen Resurrection Scroll, we're doing Envoy, probably filming next month.
yes.
And have we been on set where you're acting and I'm a crew member? Probably.
A few times. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
Like Big
at
Ass
least half a dozen
Monsters.
times. Yeah, yeah. So we've worked
Yeah.
together at least half a dozen times.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
So it's been a few, and
It's
it's
awesome.
always nice to have a familiar face on set
Yeah.
too. Because the ones where there is no familiar face, that is intimidating.
Well,
Because
I
you're
feel like me and you work enough that doesn't happen for us much in Colorado.
right, right. But
Yeah.
at the very beginning, there was a lot of that
Right.
too. Like when I did my feature film debut, I didn't know anybody on set there really.
Yeah.
Um, and only like two of them have I ever seen again on set
Oh wow.
ever. I take that back.
Hmm.
No, a lot of people on Who Need To, they worked on Serona. But even
Okay.
then, we're like separated in our own jobs and stuff. So it's not
Right.
like a reunion per se, but like we're all busy
Yeah.
and doing our stuff. But again, it's just a testament that like because you did well on a film doesn't mean they're going to hire you again and or that you're ever going to see them again too. And I've learned to cope with that as well. Where like as much as I love seeing these people, we're just going to move our separate ways, and that's okay. That is what every actor in this industry does, and
Yep.
every filmmaker, I believe. And I think you kept a decent group the same in a lot of your shoots.
Yeah.
Um, like a lot of people on Unseen and Resurrection Scroll were there together.
A lot of overlap. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
Hmm.
I think it's one of those things, and I've talked about this before at networking events, but like in indie film especially, like the people are there's such little margin for error that like you need dependable people. So like
yes,
you see a
Hmm.
lot of local teams have the same people pretty much all the time. I'm always
yes.
trying to expand by either bringing on new PAs and background actors, seeing who's reliable, but then also
Uh-huh.
volunteering as like a PA on other people's sets because I can see who their rock stars are and then be like, when this project's done, you want to come work on mine? So,
Yes,
but
yes,
like, yeah, it's one of those things where like you if you someone's really good at their job and they're dependable, you want to bring them back all the time, but then also meet
absolutely.
other people in case they're not available or they've leveled up in their career and they're directing their own stuff. Like you've always got to have contingencies, you know? So,
Yes. I
yeah.
was on set last night as a last
Nice.
minute replacement because the person bowed out and they're like, who do we get? Daniel, get up here.
Nice.
So that was nice. It was a small scene, but it was
Okay.
good. But yeah, like because again, they had the connection. And
Right.
speaking of connection, I think my connections definitely branched out a lot in 2024 when I did Kick-Ass Film Fest for my first
Yes.
time. Um,
Was
it
the
was
Unseen your first time doing Kick-Ass?
that was my second time.
Okay, it
So
was my first time doing it.
the first time in 2024, Justin Miller was the director
Okay.
with C4 Entertainment. We had done a film called Bloody Vengeance prior, directed by Eric Rangel. And that same group, we got together for the film fest and we got Western, which
Oh,
that was a bit of a challenge.
I would hate the
Um,
costuming and prop
Interesting.
needs
Yes,
for
so
that.
we
Yeah,
immediately said modern because there was no way we were
smart.
making 1800s and stuff. But we got the
In
like the
72
hats,
hours. Yeah.
the stuff. Like we even had our own clothes that we were able to make work.
Wow.
We got best production design because like
Nice.
getting all that stuff on the fly was just like, oh wow, you guys actually did it.
Nice.
So, but that was an immediate challenge because we had the whole day to shoot, but the restaurant that we did, which is like the majority of the film, we only had an hour and a half
Oh
to do that
gosh.
entire
Oh,
thing.
That's
really?
not
Yes.
enough time to set up proper
No,
lights.
no,
Oh my
but
God.
somehow we got through that, and the
Wow.
restaurant opened right when we got out, and we were able to do the
Oh,
rest.
wow.
And just random things here and there. There was like a group of people singing and doing their instruments and stuff, and we got them, recorded them for some of our
Nice.
music and stuff.
That's
So that
cool.
was a really great thing. And then we did the ceremony, and I only knew like my group and a few other people at that time.
Yeah.
Fast forward a year later when I'm with you doing the unseen
Yeah.
and we do the ceremony and stuff like that, I know over half of the people in the audience.
That's awesome.
And one of the amazing things too, like I was nominated for Best Actor, and
Yeah.
I feel like that and it was such a good film that we had because we got People's Choice. So we like
Yep.
we're the most seen this year
Hmm.
on the
Oh, for sure.
channel from there. But like that really got me out there
Yeah.
and hired a lot more, seeing that we have a good rapport and we're good at what we do. And so now I'm getting hired a lot more. I did 18 shoots last year, which is
Wow.
the most I've ever done in my entire career. Um,
Yeah.
and prior to that was, I believe, like 11 shoots. And then prior to that was
Well, so that,
like
you almost
nine.
doubled your yearly rate.
Yes, because
Wow. Okay.
prior to 2023, I would only get like 2 to 4 shoots every year.
Yeah.
It was very small, and then I did this big film in 2022 called Let Me Sleep, and that never released, but it was a big film for me. And then after that, there was 7 months of silence, and that
Yeah.
was the worst. That was the worst
Hmm.
time ever, just not getting hired for anything. But I think that was the universe just like, hey, we're making things happen and stuff because once you start, you're going. And then somewhere in 2023, it just something clicks where I'm doing at least one shoot a month, and I got
Nice.
busy, and it's been uphill since.
That's
But
awesome.
again,
That's very cool.
making the connections, making friends, and being a reliable person
Yeah.
also on doing that,
Mm.
really, it really expands your opportunities. And um, I think it's very important for actors to learn the business of acting, which is not taught in classes.
Oh,
I think that's something that really helped me in the long run because in my research for 2020, I found the business of acting is not taught in classes and it's the least known thing among actors at
yeah.
all. So I think I strongly encourage if you're an actor, learn the business side, learn
Mm.
how to get yourself out there, how to promote yourself, how to gain connections, um, and just yeah, and have fun with it too. I think another thing that a lot of actors do, they make it a competition instead of like we're coworkers with each other.
Yeah,
Um,
your victory isn't my loss. That's something like as a
exactly,
filmmaker, if another director does something awesome, I don't feel like they've one upped me. I'm just happy for
exactly.
the industry. Yeah.
That's why why I also love the Kick-Ass Film Fest because all the ceremonies that we did, we were so happy for each other, cheering on each other,
Yeah.
happy that this person won Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Lead, Best Music, Best Cinematography, all these things, whether it's on our
Yeah.
team or not. It's just like, good for
Yeah.
them, good for
Yeah.
them. And I think that's another way that we in our community move forward with each other when we're working with each other, not against.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I rarely see that. Like, I'm so glad that in our Colorado community, I'm not seeing so much competition, and
Yeah.
it's been so amazing having that connection in this Colorado film industry. And I hope, now that we're moving topics, that Sundance and
Yeah.
Boulder will definitely make a lot more stuff happen.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. I'm worried that there's not going to be a lot of locally sourced stuff put in there initially, and I'm hoping that'll change over time. So,
Uh-huh.
but we'll see. I could be totally wrong. So,
I still think it's a great opportunity
yeah.
for a lot of us to go there. Like, there are so many different directors that do want to go there, and who knows, you might land with one that actually will get in. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
like the part of this journey is that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And I know
Yeah.
we say that all the time,
Yeah.
but
But it's true.
it is, yeah, because a lot of people think I'm like not only famous, but like, have made money, made a lot of success in their mind because I think I'm successful in what I have done. Like
Oh, totally.
everything I've done, I definitely am successful.
You
But
work
not,
more than like the vast majority of creatives in
yes,
Colorado. So yeah,
yes, yes. Q Blanche definitely has me beaten.
he has everyone beat, but to be
Yes,
fair, but yes.
yes. Um, but like, um, where was I going with this? I lost my train of thought.
Actually,
um,
I think I might know where you're going. I was talking to a friend recently who's like a working SAG actor, and they were telling me about uh I can't get into specifics because it's a show
right,
that hasn't been fully
right.
announced yet. But they did a big show, big like lead guest star role, and they were talking about the luxurious travel accommodations, the pay rate.
Yes.
And it sounds, I think to people who don't work in the industry, it sounds like, oh my gosh, you were getting paid that much per day. But it's like,
Uh-huh.
you have to realize they're booking like a couple of those a year. Like it's very,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
I feel like maybe 5% of people in the film industry are like
Hmm.
making big money. The other
Hmm.
95%, if you're lucky, you're just staying in the game. And,
Yes.
so it's a
Yes.
pretty cutthroat industry in
Yeah.
terms of the finances. So,
Because, like, Q Blanche is the only actor I know that's making it as a living, and everyone else, and me included, like, we have full-time jobs and all sorts of stuff to make it and everything.
right.
And I think that is a big deal breaker to a lot of people in the acting industry where they think, oh, I had my one lead in a short film, so now I'm gonna expand. And it's just like, no, it's a lot more complicated than that.
I know exactly what you're talking
And
about. No, I'm just
yes.
kidding. But no, I agree. And like
Like,
I heard this thing when I first moved to LA where people were like, do what you got to do to survive, have a day
yes,
job, but like if you're constantly working to get in the industry, the maximum is like 10 years. They say if you
yes,
consistently put in effort within 10 years, you can do this full time. And so you
yes,
might have to adjust
Mhm.
where exactly you land in the film industry, but
yes.
and that's everyone I met who kind of heard that I've stayed in touch with. I've seen again. I That was in 2014 is when I heard that, or no, 2013. Wow. Um,
Yeah, wow.
the ones who stuck with it, within less than 10 years. I've got a friend who ended up being on Stranger Things in a recurring role. Like, um, and again,
See?
I knew her the first couple of years where she was doing either low paying or unpaid stuff to like get her demo reel done, but like now she's SAG doing big shows. She was in my favorite show of 2024, Sugar. If you haven't seen Sugar on
Yeah.
Apple TV, check it out.
Oh,
I don't work for
nice.
Apple TV yet, but I would like to promote their
Yes.
shows. So anyway, yeah,
Yes.
but it's if you keep putting in effort, I mean, it sounds like, since like 2018 is when you've been doing it. So I feel like you're on the cusp of that. And especially
Yes.
with more film stuff coming into Colorado through Sundance and just people in the film scene learning proper financing and distribution,
Yeah.
there's going to be more of that stuff. So yeah, it's
And if
exciting.
you look at the history of a lot of even top actors and stuff like that, they
Yeah.
start at the bottom. They
Oh
start
yeah.
with several years of doing stuff. Like Octavia Spencer is one of my inspirations, where like
Yeah.
she literally said, "Oh yeah, my overnight success was 15 years, so you have
Wow.
Hmm.
time." Yes,
Yes.
and here she is. She got the help, and it's been great ever since. So
Yeah.
like here I am in year 7, almost 8, and
Yeah.
yeah, like it's, I'm trusting the process and believing it. And
Yeah.
um so many actors, like it definitely separates the ones who are doing this for money versus the ones who are doing it for passion. And I think the ones who are
Well, and this
passionate
industry is so
are
unpredictable and chaotic. You have to be
it
passionate to some
is
degree.
it
If you're in
is
this, there's so many ways to make money less risky and more sustainably than being in film. So
uh-huh.
yeah,
I
Hmm.
mean, the ones that I feel like the ones that have the passion are the ones that are definitely going to move forward.
yeah,
um you know even if you're doing beyond 15 years. So
yeah.
yes,
Well, and
like
keep in
I'm
mind
in
that
it for
10-year thing
life.
was in LA. I feel like the
Yeah.
timelines adjust when you're not in a hub.
Hmm.
But
Yes.
we're kind of turning into a hub locally. I think we don't need to go down the digression of like state tax incentives and all that
No,
that are kind of hindering
no.
us. But yeah. So yeah, no, it's good. I was gonna say, like, for actors out there who might be feeling discouraged, what's your advice on handling rejections? Because I know this is an industry where you're gonna get a lot of no's, but then the yeses are like
Yes.
really special and worth it, in my opinion. But like, what's your advice to actors who are feeling discouraged about not getting roles when they, audition and
Yes.
stuff?
Like keep going. It takes a
Hmm.
100 no's to get to that one yes.
Yeah.
Early on when I 2018, I got those very small things again. Again, it was a small part in a short film. It was an extra. It was a commercial where you only see a picture of me in
Yeah.
the background, um, and a voiceover that didn't go anywhere. And so that first year was very difficult. You're not getting seen. You're not doing all those things and stuff. But at the same time, I get told about backstage. It's like, okay, here's my platform.
Yeah.
So I got that in July of 2019, and I applied for everything from
Yeah.
July through December. I only got even 5 auditions and stuff, and none of them got to me. And I had hundreds of
Yeah.
check-ins and stuff that I put in, and not besides those 5 ones, like none of them picked me up or anything. And um, small brief tangent. You're not owed anything also. So like you
Yeah.
can't just go in there thinking, well, I'm a good actor. Like they should hire me. Why are they saying no? No, no, no. They do not know you. So you need to build
Yeah.
um that rapport and the experience that you have. But don't lose heart, because one thing that really can help you is if you do your own content.
Yes.
So I did this one um short thing. I think I did it with my phone or camera, but I did the hereditary dinner scene,
Oh,
and I
okay.
played all 3 characters.
Oh, hell
And
yeah.
I put that out there on my backstage, and my audition spiked from there.
Nice.
I went from 5 auditions in 6 months to um, 1 or 2 every couple weeks.
Nice.
It's still a slow progression at that time, but like, it was a noticeable, oh, like because I made something
Yeah.
and I showed my acting
Yeah.
skills in there. Um, and dare I say that was probably the first time screaming on there.
Nice.
So yes, because being Tony Collette in there, the screaming on the
Hmm.
dealing table. But
Yeah.
anyway, I think that
I've
was
had
a
to do that scene
very
in acting class. It's a tough scene.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. I think if you're not making any progress as far as like at the very beginning, you're getting all these notes and stuff, do something of your own. Like
Yeah.
Hmm.
our phones do so much. They are
Yep.
quality enough to get you like a scene, make a scene with you, like get a friend to help you.
Yeah.
Um, Even if they're not in the industry, it is still something rather than nothing.
Yep.
And I think that very first year is the hardest in
Yeah.
getting there because once you get that yes, that does not mean you're going to get yes, 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 yes over and over. You got that
Mhm.
one yes, but you still have another 100 no's to go
Yeah.
to too. Here I am in year 7, I'm still getting no's, like even
Yep.
today, and that is part of the process.
Yep.
Tom Cruise even gets nobs because like he's not Gladiator, he's not
Right.
Star Wars, he's not in every single thing. Because if we had him in every single thing, what's the point of that? We need all these
Right.
different faces and different actors. So like it's kind of um, it's a good thing that you are not in everything. So don't take it
Yeah.
personal when a no is happening because they are looking for specific faces and specific people, and you just didn't fit that. But
Mhm.
you fit somewhere
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
these things. Um, I also would recommend do not glamorize yourself or change your
Mhm.
appearance per se in trying to get roles.
Mhm.
Here's what I mean. A lot of people think you have to be perfect
Ah.
in order to get anywhere. I'm not skinny. I'm not the first person you'd take as Hollywood beautiful and everything like that. But guess what? You're still needed.
Right.
Again, they need every single face. So it is easy to get discouraged and see all this glamour and like, well, I'm not that. I'm not these things. No, you are still part of a film industry that you
Yeah.
can go forward and be there. So I would definitely encourage people that like, you don't have to look any kind of way except as yourself because
Yeah. I love that.
you bring yourself to the table.
Yeah.
Um, like if I was a director, I'm not going to be Steven Spielberg. We already have him.
Right.
We need you to
Oh.
make your stories and all that. So that's what how I see my acting. They need my acting. They need
Yeah.
your acting. So don't give up. And yes, the first year is the hardest, and then the next hardest is the next 3 to 5 years.
Yep.
Still getting established. And yes, there's going to be points where you're doing well. There's going to be points where there's nothing, like that 7 month gap that I
Yep.
had in 2022, 2023. Um, and again, that's just part of the deal. A lot of people have come up to me saying how busy I am, and I'm at a point where like I am stepping back a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not quitting, but I'm not doing 18 shoots this
Right.
year like I did
Mhm.
last year. Um, but I'm still going to act in the things that I want to do, and I'm at a point that I can be more choosy. But again, it's almost 8 years that I've been in here, so
Yep.
I did not just all of a sudden randomly start, and here I am at this level.
Right.
Because I also want to tell people too, the pressure is high at this
Yep.
level. The pressure and um, you're an example to a lot of people too. People are
Yep.
watching you, they're seeing your every move, and um, had I been where I am right now on day one, mental
Right.
overload. So like it is a gradual progression, and you just trust the process that as slow as it may be, every step forward counts. And eventually you're going to make so many steps that you're going to be at the top of the incline and look back and like, oh my gosh, it's huge.
Yeah.
I've gone that far.
That's
So
awesome. That's a great
yes,
analogy. I love that.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
That's awesome.
That's really inspiring for a lot of actors. Like a lot of people can get really hemmed up with any of their art. I work with a lot of writers right now. Um, people just going through a creative writing program at school, artists, and you get so many people who get down on themselves because they are not like a standard style or they're not the best at something. I mean,
Hmm.
I personally am like not that fast when I
Mm.
write or draw. And but when you get good feedback like that from like other actors or other artists, that's kind of what helps people stop comparing themselves to like the absolute top of the pops on their
Yes,
Instagram feed. Like
yes.
it
Right.
is is like, no, your story is important. What you bring to the
Absolutely.
table is extremely important, and that's very cool.
Yes. And I recommend that people take classes, take acting classes,
Yeah.
whether they feel they do or not, because I didn't start taking classes until last year, but I feel like it was very easy to get into that mindset like, I'm a good actor. I don't think I need classes. Well, that's when you need it, I think.
Mhm.
But I've heard
Because
people like an acting class to like the gym. Like, yeah, you
yes,
might train and then you're doing a bunch of athletic events, but in the interim, it's good to go back and like hit the gym. So like, yeah,
yes.
for sure.
And our voices, like we're an instrument. It needs
Yeah,
tuning.
totally.
It needs practice. And if you're not doing that on set, you need to be doing that off of set as well. And
Yeah.
the more you're doing it, the better. I act so much better when I'm around other actors.
Oh,
Um,
totally.
I feel my performance is a lot more real in there.
Mhm.
Um, so which is like I love self-tape and stuff, but sometimes self-tape is harder to bounce
Yeah.
off of.
Yeah.
But doing the acting classes with Steve, like not only did that help me um, be able to like work on some things that I didn't even know I needed to work on that stuff. But it shows where you are in there as well. Not I'm not saying like higher than another person or lower, but it's just like, oh wow, I actually can work on this part of my acting, or
Yeah.
I need to work on monologues, or I need to start doing scene studies or something like that, or like do the scene study better.
Yeah.
So there's just it's so important in my mind to see all those factors that you whether you have it down or not to say, do I still have it? Has anything changed in
Right.
the past decade or so also? Because apparently it does.
Wow.
Um, yeah. And you learn about techniques and other things. And I don't have one technique in my acting per se, but like it may be similar to one
Yeah.
also. And you might want to try the other techniques. I looked at the method. I don't want to do that, but again, I'm not going to
I have
fault
thoughts on
anyone.
method acting.
Yeah,
I basically think
but
it's horseshit, but
but I'm not
anyway.
gonna but I'm not gonna fault anyone else doing their own method of acting as well, because if it's that's what gets their performance,
Yeah.
then that's good because no two ways are alike.
Yeah.
Like everyone's gonna perform the way that they perform, and yeah, I think it's a great thing to do, and it's great to have the coaches in there that really want us to succeed to help us out with that. And so you learn you think when you think you know everything that you need to know, I'm pretty sure there's a universe more that you still need to know in
Yeah.
there.
Well, and coming from a teaching perspective too, it doesn't matter. Like there are good students, there are people who are so insightful and like self-critical in a way that's like, okay, I messed this up and I can get better. But not everybody's like that. And sometimes you need that outside eye from
Yes.
peers, from an instructor. You need somebody to like help you out with that. And I don't know about you, but when I'm in a class, like for me, it's writing right now. A writing workshop for me is a time to like absolutely take a wild swing. Like
Yeah.
mix up the format, write something weird. I'm writing a story right now where I'm mixing short story format with literal like script format on Final Draft. And
Uh-oh.
it's weird, it's hard, but it's
Yeah.
an interesting way to tell a story, and it's the kind of thing where it's like I really don't care if I fuck this up too bad.
Yeah.
But like if I learned something and I had fun and like an acting class or a drawing class or whatever your art is, like where you can just take some time and be like, okay, this isn't going to be perfect for my project, but I'm going to take a swing. That's where I feel like you learn the most.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And you listen too
Hmm.
to it. Don't
Yeah.
just go there to be there. Like actually take it and listen to that and I don't know, apply it.
Hmm.
Like learn things because again when I started in 2018 I think all my acting well not all of it I still had really good parts and stuff but I was more of an over actor and I needed that was something I really needed to learn at the time so um I did that first shoot in 2018 and the director told me to stop acting and I look at him and I'm just like what do you mean stop acting and he told me say it realistically. Like, do not wait for the line to come to you. React to what I am saying to you. And at first, it took me aback because I thought I'm just like I'm doing it. I wasn't. No,
Ah,
I wasn't. I think, and even today, I still have to remind myself to die the energy down, because I just let my energy go. But the more energy I let out and stuff like that, the more unreal it becomes. But then the less I do, um, it comes off a lot better that way.
yeah.
So that was something I really had to learn the most in my acting stuff, and um, I think that really worked out.
That's awesome.
There was
It's always nice to
one,
be told to do less. So
yes,
Right.
and like I'm glad that I could be told that without getting offended or anything like that. He's
Yeah.
trying to help me
yeah,
here.
it's not
So
seasoning, it's not cooking.
yeah,
This
yeah,
is a skill that you're applying. Like if I'm training somebody to like do a deadlift and they're on the bar and they are lifting it as fast as they would a 500-pound deadlift, or if they're lifting it with the same strength, I will tell that person like, no, do less and focus on like the
yes,
muscle contraction. So like the fact that you can just be like told to do less and you're not taking offense to that, like that's awesome because it means that I also think that's probably a good plus for you for like getting work as an actor because
yes,
like it's not that you're not difficult to work with. And it's clearly a sign that you've actually got like a flexible ego. So, which is kind of a cool thing to know. Like it's good when you know a coworker is like not a jerk.
yes,
Yes. And with the
yes.
hours on set, that's huge in our industry for sure.
Mhm.
It is. And taking direction, like I would think that that would be like common sense in acting,
Some act
but
I've gotten roles solely based on the notes they give me during a read and just seeing me take a wild swing in a different direction. They're like, okay,
mhm,
you can be directed. I've booked roles
yes,
just based on that. And
yes,
so, because there's a surprising number of people who they'll read a script, they'll figure out how they're going to play it, and then they're stuck in that and they can't
yes,
vary at all. And that,
yes. Steve Austin tells us not to do that.
good,
That's why he
good.
gives us different ways of doing it. But even so, in 2022, when I got hired for Let Me Sleep, um, not realizing it was the fourth main character, by the way, at that time, but
Oh,
I had
nice.
applied for a totally different character as one of the police officers, not this character who in the script was a 50-year-old person living with his parents and stuff, but they apparently saw something in me. They're like, can you do this
So they
character?
changed the
And
character to age him down for you.
yes,
That's
they
cool.
did,
Okay.
but like in the audition, um, again, I had my high energy and stuff like that. So the first read, I did the high energy and stuff, but in the script it said that I drop the Mountain Dew at the person's feet and say goodbye to him and stuff. I had this metal bottle with
Oh,
me that I took, and so I did the direction. Gong! And the director and producer lost it. They laughed so hard with that.
nice.
And because I did that, that really hooked them. But
Okay,
then,
nice.
but then they're like, okay, do it again, but die the energy down. And so I died the energy down,
Nice.
and they saw the character a lot more that time. And
That's
then
awesome.
they did it one more time, even less. And I did it. And yeah, the next day I got the role.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, they made
That's
it from
awesome.
50 to 30. And yeah, they changed that for me. But you just never know what's going to happen with that. But like, again, I listened to the direction. I changed the character and stuff to
Yeah,
what they wanted it to be. And so since I was able to do that, I've taken that story with me from there,
nice.
just saying like it is so important to listen to what
Yeah,
they are asking of you. Because if I had done the same exact take that I did the first time on there, they probably would have been like, okay, you're good, but we may
yeah.
look for someone else.
Mm.
Because in their minds, they'd be worried that like you're not capable of toning down the energy, which would be a
Yes,
concern if they needed
yes.
scenes that had lower energy. So,
Yes, and it
yeah,
also shows the layers that you can do, that you could be a
yeah,
high energy person, a low energy person, this, that, like emotional,
yeah,
deadpan, all these different things.
yeah.
Yes. So I really, so that director in 2018, I haven't seen him since, but like I do appreciate him taking the time to tell me to stop acting because
That's
that,
awesome.
yeah, that really stuck with me, and I put that in my research too. So it's like, okay, so what do I do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's some cool stuff coming up that you can get the viewers excited about coming up in your career?
Oh boy.
I mean, besides Envoy, which if you want to contribute to Envoy, which
Yes.
Daniel will be in playing
Yes.
the main one of the main characters' therapist, so really important scene early
Yes.
on, establishing kind of her dynamics with the other main character.
Hmm.
So you're in a really critical scene. But if people want to be part of that and share an IMDb credit with me and Daniel, there'll be a link to the Seed and Spark campaign, which will be going on
Yes.
till the end of
Yes.
till like mid-April. So
Yes. We
contribute and get
posted
that IMDb credit. Yeah.
we posted that all over our social medias, and we're
Oh yeah.
trying to get a lot of people to contribute and reach
Yeah.
out and spread the word so that we can send this to the nation and hopefully the world.
Oh,
So
we're
yes.
doing international distribution. Like that's
Oh, sweet.
1000% happening. In
Yes.
fact, we're doing certain things. Fun fact for filmmakers out there, certain things with the audio and the way we record it and the way we edit it to make
Oh
it easily
boy.
dubbable so that it is distributable internationally because distributors don't want to bank on subtitles because literacy rates vary country to country. So like, and adding subtitles is easy. They want to be able to dub it easily. So like, we're making sure that we have in-camera Foley all on different tracks when we're editing. And so it
Nice.
is like the goal is international distribution. That's where we're going to make the majority of our money and pay back our
Uh-huh.
investors and everything like that. So yeah, no, Envoy is going to be internationally distributed 100%. So
I'm
yeah,
so excited for it.
yeah.
That's very
Yes.
cool.
Yes. Um, let's see. I just finished the music for Menticide, and
Oh, congrats.
Menticide is a short film about I'm the lead character in there.
Nice.
I survive a kidnapping, and later I'm playing games with my friends, and all of a sudden I figure out that someone in here probably did the kidnapping to me, and it goes
Uh,
into a downward spiral. The ending is insane in this one.
nice.
So I had composed the music for the same director, Domingo Maines.
Yep.
We had
Great
done
guy.
Killing
Great
You.
guy.
Yes. So doing this, he allowed me to do the music for that too. But
Nice.
it was really awesome to be the lead in this as my most physically and mentally demanding role I've ever done in my entire life.
Wow.
Um, and that release, well, not exactly releases, but like we are showing that on May, let's see, the second Wednesday of May at Peak Film
Nice.
Forum. So we hope
I'll
that
be
people
there.
will come. And I think we're showing a trailer of it at the Kick-Ass ceremony on May 3rd.
Oh,
So that's
Oh,
very
going to
that's
be
so
cool.
cool.
exciting. Yes, yes.
Nice.
So I'm really excited for that one. It's the first time I'm shirtless in a film,
Ah,
so yeah, you get to see me with that. But I definitely wanted. I had a few reasons for doing that where I wanted to make the situation realistic and a lot more intense, but then also like encourage anybody that is like, thinking that their body image is not like correct or right or whatever and stuff like that. It's like, oh no, 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 it's perfectly fine for anybody to do this. Because
yeah.
again, we need everybody, all shapes and sizes,
I
all
love it.
faces, everybody. So like I wanted to encourage people to, let loose and yeah,
Yeah.
you can do these scenes and
Hmm.
stuff. So yes, there's punching, there's stabbing, there's shooting, there's
Dang.
one-on-one fights and stuff. So yes, it's an
Wow.
intense role. So stars
That's
me
awesome.
and Tori Safran,
She's
Domingo
great.
Maines, AJ Meyer, Chris
Oh, AJ's
Doody.
awesome. Chris is
Yes,
amazing.
yes.
I
So
know all these
like
people and they're all delightful.
yes,
Yeah.
amazing people. And Billy Sobolik,
Great
I
guy.
hope I said his name right. He helped produce and shot the film and edited it, and he did a really, really good job with it.
Because Domingo's the
So
director, right?
he is, yes,
Nice.
yes. And
Ooh,
we
I got
got
to
to
talk to him
see
about. We should have him on the podcast talking about directing while acting. That's something I don't know how people
absolutely.
do. I couldn't do it. So
Yes, yes.
yeah,
Like I if I was a director, I feel like I would want to just direct instead of doing
that's how I
directing
am.
and acting. But
Oh yeah,
Mm.
I
I'm not
mean,
even giving myself a cameo in Envoy. I'm like, nope, I'm too focused on directing.
yes,
So
yes. And that's, to each his own on how they do this,
yeah.
on do each films. But yeah, so Menticide is one. Um, AJ Bennett has another film. I was hired as a role for that.
Oh, congrats.
I signed an NDA for that, so I can't really say anything
Of
much
course.
about it. But I really like the character that I have.
Ooh,
So
that's exciting.
we'll yes,
Nice.
we'll get to that this summer.
Nice.
Um, and let's see, the table read for that is coming up soon too. So I'm excited to
Ooh,
meet
very cool.
everybody because it's got a lot of good faces that I have worked with, and a couple of people from my acting class finally getting roles in films too.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm really,
awesome.
really excited for them as well.
Nice.
That's
Um,
very cool. That's
yes,
so cool.
yes. And for those watching the podcast, AJ Bennett, great director.
Super nice guy. Yeah.
He made Seraphim. Check that out. It's a John
Which we're
Wick
both
fan
in. Yeah.
film. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And so check that out.
That movie's
Um,
so impressive for the
yes,
budget they had for a first time feature. Like
yes.
that's a great film. Actually, that was a big inspiration for Envoy, just like what they achieved with
Hmm.
such a minimalist approach and how good it looked. That's what gave me the confidence to because honestly, I have another like a murder mystery called House of Conspiracies. I think you've read that script. That
Yes.
that was gonna be my first feature, but I was like, I've never directed action. There's only a few scenes of like combat in that movie, but
Hmm.
I was like, let me do an action short to like get all my rookie mistakes out of the way. And then as I was writing that, I was like, oh, this is a feature, and that's Envoy now. So that
Yes.
was yeah. So
Yes.
anyway, Seraphim like gave me the confidence to be like, oh, I can do an action feature on an ultra low
Absolutely.
budget, so it's exciting. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. And yes, I'm waiting on House of Conspiracies, but more to come hopefully in the future. We will
Oh yeah.
see.
Hmm.
Um, and let's see. Possible other things. I was gonna be like I thought it was gonna be a lead in a feature, and I haven't heard anything for a few months, but we'll see what happens. We have the kick-ass ceremony. I can't wait to see
Yeah.
who wins and what happens and all that. And yeah, I'm definitely want to enjoy my summer this year, so I'll probably take a couple
Nice.
months off,
Good for
and
you.
then like in August, definitely go back full force and get my hands
Nice.
on some big stuff because I
Very
am
cool.
applying for a lot of big stuff, not just here in
Nice.
Colorado, but I'm trying to branch myself outside of Colorado
Very
and
nice.
hopefully get out of the state and make more connections out from there because I've seen other actors in our industry do that too. Like,
Yeah.
Hugh Blanche has done that, but now Sam Toledo is doing it.
Yeah.
Sam
Hmm.
Toledo's another great
Simply
actor.
the lead of Envoy. He's great. Yeah.
Yes,
He works
yes,
he works
excellent
out of state
actor.
quite a bit on acting gigs. It's really cool.
Yes,
Yeah.
so
Well,
like
he was in a Super Bowl commercial this year.
yes, like
Yeah.
oh my
There you
gosh, that's
go.
crazy. Yes,
Yeah.
so it's like I see all my other friends, and so it's like I aspire to do this. So like
Yeah.
I am hoping it's my turn to branch out and start
Yeah.
doing that too.
Love it.
Yep, and keep on looking for an agent because I am not represented yet.
You hear
I
that?
have
Talent agents who watch the Nerds and Friends podcast, get Daniel on your agency.
I have looked to some talent agencies. I interviewed for one, um, and so like we'll see what happens
Yeah.
if I get taken or not. But that's been a whole learning process too. Like, did you know that if you get an agent in a certain region, you can't get another agent in that region? You have to go to other regions.
I've
Hmm.
heard such
I
things, and it sounds very
yes
complicated, and
yes
it's one of the reasons I'm focusing on writing and directing and
yes
doing. I have one more acting gig this year, and then I'm not really pursuing anymore because I'm
yeah.
like,
Hmm.
I know my limits as an actor as well.
Understood.
I don't have
Yes,
as much range as
yes,
you do, so
yes. Oh, you're a
Fair
good actor,
enough.
Josh. You really
oh,
are.
thank you.
Um, and I have done music. I've composed
Yeah,
music.
I really liked your
I
score on the photographers. It was really
Oh,
good.
thank you, thank
Yeah,
you. Yes, I did 5 films last year,
nice.
including the feature of the photographers,
Yeah,
and I'm putting that aside for now. I'm going to finish Repression,
yeah,
and I'm going to put it aside for a while, but I'm not saying that I'm never doing it again.
of
So
course.
I kind of need a new computer and just catch up on my other stuff in life
Totally.
happening around me. So, yes. Um, but that's also another thing I would love to discuss too, that like, you may be an actor in film, but if there's any other talents that you have, like may it be making music, producing, directing, editing, camera work, like whatever, I say pursue it. Because
Yep.
a lot of actors in this industry, they definitely will pursue other things besides just acting.
Yeah.
And like, I think that is a really wonderful thing to have, where if you're talented in something, do it.
Yeah.
You might get more opportunities from that as well, as much as you
100%.
are getting from your acting.
Yeah.
Like, music was never supposed to happen, but it just did. So,
Nice.
yes,
Hey,
yes,
if you're
like
good at it and it works out.
it sure does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I started getting paid for my music and stuff. Like,
Heck yeah.
what the heck? But that was never supposed to happen, but it did. But then like I've I've done some camera work, and who knows if that will take off as well in the future.
Yeah.
Because I do have a good eye with camera work and stuff. I just
Nice.
haven't pursued that, but that is another thing that if, let's say, heaven forbid, that acting were not to work out and stuff, that is another avenue I can take. And I've edited film before too, another
Nice.
avenue I could take. So I have all these like different feelers out there
Different
that
paths into the
different,
industry.
yes,
Yeah, that's
exactly.
awesome.
So I definitely implore anybody that if you whatever talents you have in the film industry, please use it. Please do it.
Absolutely.
So
That
yeah,
is so amazing.
yes, yes.
Daniel, this was such a fun interview. Thank you so much for being on Nerds and Friends.
Thank you
This
for
was
having me.
fantastic.
Yes, I'm so glad we
Yeah.
got to do this.
Yeah. Do you
And
have any
yes,
social media you want to plug so people can follow your career and stay tuned for the cool stuff
absolutely.
you have coming up?
So yes, Daniel Selk. Find me on Facebook, Instagram. I barely do LinkedIn, but I'm there.
Nice.
I am on YouTube, so I do have a YouTube channel. I haven't
We'll link
posted
that
much,
in the
but I
video
do.
below.
Oh, thank you. But I
Yeah.
do have a few videos in there, including a short video I showed at Peak Film Forum a little bit ago.
Yeah, that was great. I remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
encouraging people that wherever you are in life, pursue your dreams. So yes, those are my socials. That's where to reach out. And yeah, like that's me.
Well, everyone go to Daniel's YouTube channel right after this and watch that video he just talked about. Thank
Thank
you
Absolutely.
so
you.
much for Nerds and Friends. Another great episode.
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure. And
Thanks for being on.
good luck on Envoy.
Well, I'll see you there, not tomorrow, but
Yes,
like on the filming days.
yes,
So awesome.
yes. All right.
Sweet.
Take care. Off
Yeah.
to Resurrection Scroll, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yes.